All right. So think of it like this. You are a fresh new YouTuber. All right, you've created your first channel, you've created the name, you've determined your niche, basically what do you want to do? And you make a video. You do what you do, you post it. You check that video later on and you realize that the video hasn't done as well as you thought, only like a few views, it's not that much. So you think to yourself, you know, why didn't my video do well? You decide to try and make a few other videos. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And you make other videos trying to seem like, maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, it'll be better or worse. And the same thing happens, Basically, the same thing happens. Your video gets no views, no traction, no nothing. Of course, you being the new YouTuber, you don't know what's going on. You don't know how to improve. You've tried, and seemingly you have failed. So you go onto a platform such as YouTube, as you're already on. You type in a phrase similar to this one: how to get more views on a YouTube video. How do I get more views, etc., etc. Little tweaks there, here and there, and you type in search. And at this point, I'm gonna tell you, you have already fallen into a trap, my friend. You will turn to others, and you will look for the answer. So you've hit search, and a bunch of videos come up. There's thousands of videos, all genuinely kind of similar. It's a person who has a normal background and they have numbers usually on their left or right, depending on where they are positioned, with a title saying, if you want more views, click this video and find out how. They'll usually hype it up with a secret, a thing that you've never possibly thought of. This secret method, this technique, this one little trick. If you do it, you will instantly get hundreds of views. Thousands of views, thousands of subscribers. Your channel will take off. My problem with some things, and it's not all, I want this to be very clear, it's not all, but some people, because it's people on the internet, they don't have your best interests in mind. And quite frankly, the advice they give is two categories. Either A, it's bullshit, or B, it's cookie cutter. Everyone says the exact same thing with a few tweaks here or there. But my main problem mostly is that it's bullshit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am not going to do what I usually do, where I don't call out, so to say. And I'm not looking for drama, but I want to give you guys an example and raise to your attention this big problem that new YouTubers or existing ones will occur, and it's right in front of your face. I want to bring to your attention a video. It's titled Get 1,000 Subs in 3 Days. Proven Strategy. This channel is run by a person named Ben Did It. That's the channel's name. He has 15k views on the 2-week-old video as of recording this video, and 24,000 subscribers. So You see his video in passing. You think, hey, he's got a lot of views, he's got a lot of subs, must be reliable. And you watch the video to get your hands on this proven strategy. These gurus, self-proclaimed, he doesn't call himself a guru, but he does put himself in a teacher, like he holds himself to that standard because he talks about a student. Anyway, the video hypes up this strategy to get views, and his proof is a self-proclaimed student of his who did 2 channels, one using Zed method and the other not. The one that incorporated the method, to his words, genuinely got more traction, more views, and more subscribers, way beyond the other one. And what's his strategy? You're curious, you're wondering, what's the strategy? What could it be? Well, that's simple. I'll tell you what it is. It's stealing other people's content. That's the strategy. While making a few minor changes to the content so you can get by through whatever tiny loophole that you can to pass it off as, you know, your own self thing, etc. You know, these tiny bullshit loopholes that people do. And it's not just this dude who's giving this out. I'm using him as an example. I have no ill will towards him, but this video really rubbed me the wrong way. And like I said, other people do it. So how does he go about doing this? He talks about how all you need to do is use your phone, you know, go to Instagram and basically use the search function to find a really popular video. You find the video that you want, you download it onto your device, and then you download another app. I don't know the name of his app, nor do I fucking care. You know, you download that to basically save that to your gallery, and then he says what you need to do next is go onto YouTube, click the shorts button, you know, and make a short using that video. Basically, you mute the video, you add popular music that's trending on YouTube right now, and you add a very little tiny comment. It's like, wow, look at this. Basically, that type of vibe. And, you know, after that, you give it a weird title, you add your hashtag, and you upload. Well, he doesn't fully upload it right away. He schedules it, and I'm gonna go into all that and my kind of thoughts on it, because other people tell you about scheduling. This is full-on lazy content creating. It's not even content creating. It's, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, this is blatantly stealing other people's content. It's thievery. And what shocks me is the amount of people in his comment section. There's 2.1k comments. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm assuming that most of these things are bot related comments, but I also assume that some of these are, you know, actual people commenting. You know, you get the ones that I think that are bots that always go, new YouTubers gather here, new YouTubers strong, you know, gather here, hope you, wish you well. And you get other people who give a more detailed comment. Thank God I came across your video. It hasn't been easy getting subscribers, but now I will start implementing all your strategies. Thanks for sharing. And then you get people like me who see the truth in this. A comment, I'm not gonna say their name, but you can find them. It's a recent comment from 13 days ago. And they say, and I quote, "So you're taking someone else's content and uploading it as your own. Not the strategy I'd use, especially if you're a channel that has nothing to do with that video. This is 100% true, and I'm glad that someone else sees it this way." And I know a lot of other people see it, but like compared to the ocean's flow of other comments, it's a true light in the darkness. You know, it is thievery. And like I said, other people do it. They do very minimal things. Now, people make up their people make up the excuse, what about reaction channels? I say it depends on the person, What are they doing to add their own thing to the video? Are they actually doing something, or are they just sitting in a chair, eating a bag of potato chips, looking at the video while making like a little surprise face? People who do that level, that's thievery in my eyes. You're doing nothing. You're just stealing the content that's popular so other people will watch and click on your video because either A, you're a more well-known person who's just, I don't know, down on your luck lately for views, or a new person trying to get in on the train of this is popular, And it's so stupid, People will use these strategies that prey on you. And, businesses, this is a side tangent, businesses are no stranger to this, but people are no stranger to this either. People know that there are people who don't have the best luck on this platform. They don't have what they want going for them right now. So they know that they'll come looking for questions, and they will dangle a false thread of hope in front of your eyes saying, hey, I got all the answers to your questions. Just click my video, And they give advice that seemingly seems logical. Unlike the one that was my notebook. Unlike this person, Ben did it. Like I said, I haven't watched all their videos, just this one, and it rubbed me wrong. So I'm not saying like this guy is a full-on blown scammer, because I haven't done the research into that. This video, however, is telling people, hey, you want the strategy to get views? Scam people, take other people's content, do that shit, and that's not okay. That's so bad. The reason why I'm using him is he's the example I have. He's the one that came across. So if he has a problem with that, well, one, you shouldn't make a video telling people to scam other people like that, but, And I don't care what other people say. It's like, oh, well, he did his own. No, you did the very bare minimum, which is nothing at all, and passing it as your own. If you're doing a reaction to a video, you make sure that you have all credited stuff. Like I've said, I talked about the person's video, I credit him as the creator of said video. When I did other stuff, talking about other people, like my problem with YouTube, and there's a lot more problems that I have with YouTube. My problem with YouTube video, I linked channels that I was talking about, and people who could explain it way better than I ever can. They have better equipment, setups, etc. They're a lot better at it. I'm just here to try and get that news out by recommending them, well, not recommended, but giving them the credit because they worked hard on it. They did a lot more work than me. I'm giving them the credit that they deserve. These gurus, these people, and again, I said from the beginning, it's not all gurus. There are some people who do give pretty good advice. Like, there was one video, I haven't fully watched it, but the thumbnail and the title to that video really stuck out with me, and I'm going to read what it is, what it's called. It is called Why Starting a YouTube is a Brilliant Idea Even If No One Watches, by David Pham. Or Pham. I apologize if I said your name wrong. And the thumbnail is him looking out a window, and it says, do it with 0 subs. I like that title. I like that message. It's very good. People like that, as I said, I haven't watched the video, so like I can't credit like how good or bad that video is. Just commenting on first glances at it. That is someone who I feel should be listened to with what I've seen so far of that. Now, the advice that these cookie cutter people, they always give the same advice, and they do the same things. And why do they do it? Because it's a proven strategy. The numbers speak for themselves. People are going to come to you looking for the answers that you say and claim that you have, when in reality you either don't, or you're making up some stuff, or etc. That's usually how it goes. And that is how they trick you and trap you in this. Now, because we have time left, I'm going to give my own opinions on what you should do when you start a YouTube channel. I am very new to the YouTube scene. I barely have any views, any subscribers. So, if you want my opinion, remember, it's not gospel. It's just my thoughts so far as a person on this platform. So you've created your channel, or you're thinking of it. You wake up with that idea. The cookie cutter talk about finding your niche is an important one. Find out what you want to do. It's very good to find out what you want to do before starting, but just because you didn't know what to do doesn't mean you can't change later on. And it's an important thing to realize that you don't have to put yourself in a bubble. You don't have to confine yourself within one thing. I love horror games. Anything horror related, that's my jam. I absolutely love playing them. I love reacting to them. I love watching them. However, sometimes I don't want to play a horror game. Shocker. Yeah, I know. King of Horror. Self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed King of Horror doesn't always like to play horror games. Why? Because it gets boring sometimes. And I like to do other things. I like to play all sorts of games. I don't want to limit myself. So don't feel you have to limit yourself to one thing. Does that mean to try like everything right away? No. You should try stuff that you feel passionate about, because when you have something you feel passionate about, even if it doesn't do well right off the bat, you're gonna still love doing it to some sense. It's not gonna be as bad as a backlash if it doesn't do so well. Number 2 is very crucial. Don't quit your main job for YouTube. YouTube is confusing. It's not for everybody, and not everybody is lucky enough to be successful with it. So always have something that is guaranteed to make money than relying on something that could possibly give you money. So I say keep your job that you're doing, whatever you're doing now before YouTube, or even if you don't have a job, I suggest getting a job that can give guaranteed money to you, rather than focusing on something who I've posted 200 and something videos. I still don't get paid for this because there's really bullshit requirements to get paid, to get monetization. I really hate them. So that's a piece of advice I think that you guys should really enjoy. I've said it before in my little talk, like me giving thoughts on like new YouTubers, and that's like to put yourself first. If you don't feel like posting a video someday, don't force yourself to feel like you have to post. If you feel mentally that you cannot keep up, take a break, organize yourself, and come back strong. You do not have to post every single day. You do not have to do anything that you do not necessarily want to. Always put yourself first, because you're going to be the person who is guaranteed to stay. You get an audience members come and go. It's natural, it's life. You're the only one who will stay with your channel until the very end, because you're the one who started it, you're the one who made it. It's you, what you like and want to do. So of course you should put yourself before anything else. Another cookie cutter thing that's pretty good, in my opinion, in retrospect, is, put yourself out there. And what people get confused is like, what does that mean? That does not mean advertising your channel to everyone. That doesn't mean like going up to that person like, hey you, get over here. Hey, have you ever heard of Spectral Senpai? Yeah. He's a pretty cool dude, he does all this other shit. He does lots of shit. I'm sure he'll find something. Don't be that person. Don't be that person in Reddit forums that's like, yeah, I'm Spectral Senpai, I'm XYZ. You should check out my channel. Here's a link to my channel. Here's a video I did. No. If you do that, you're gonna rub people the wrong way, and people are gonna hate you for it, and it's gonna backlash. What that means is, say you're into horror movies, all right? You go onto Reddit and people are discussing what makes a good horror movie. Comment with the other people, give your opinions, whether you feel that they're like right or wrong. Give your thoughts, put yourself in that community. People will recognize you as time goes on. This person has good ideas. Who are they? I wonder who this person is. And they'll come to you eventually. When the time is right, they'll find you. Do not make a clickbaity thumbnail or a false title. Now, I feel in a way I'm kind of guilty of this, and that's because the one video I did, I used the popular YouTuber's name. I used Markiplier. I used a quote that he said. Markiplier once said, "Fuck the ocean." And I thought that was funny, so I used it. I credited it was Markiplier, Oh, I credited it with like Markiplier. He's like, Markiplier was right. Fuck the ocean. That isn't super bad, but like, don't lie about what the video actually is about. Like, don't say, here's how to make a super good cheesecake recipe, and it's just me playing Dark Souls. Even though that'd be kind of cool. I'm joking. Please don't come at me. Don't be that way. And don't, for the love of God, the thing that I hate the most that people do is they will prey on sexual stuff. People are horny. People know that sex sells, so they will prey into it. And you know exactly what I mean. I've done multiple videos on this topic. I have talked about this topic, how much I hate it, how much it's ruining this platform, and how much I hate sharing a space with these people. They will say very, very, very lewd things. Now, you can say a lewd thing, and it's not a bad thing. But, like, don't make it your whole fucking character. It's weird. It comes off weird to me. Comes off weird to a lot of people. People aren't... When people view you, when you do that, they aren't viewing you for your actual content. They're viewing you because they want to fuck you. You're a sex symbol in their eyes. That's all they want. They're horny bastards. And you yourself are lowering yourself down to that. And then there's people who get angry when it happens to them. It's like, no shit, it happens. You basically were like, go ahead. Now, do all pretty people do this? No. There's a lot of pretty people out there who get caught in the crossfire. Like I said, there's always going to be creepy, horny, weird people out there, men and women. And, it sucks that that happens. But don't give them ammo. Don't like, make them seem like it's okay. You know? So basically, don't do stuff like other people do, where it's like you're putting your whole chest in the whole fucking thing. Don't do sexual shit, because it's very weird. Especially for like topics I've talked about. That's just weird. I've kind of lost track with giving the tips, but the last tip is related to that video. You just made your channel. Do not worry about numbers or anything like that. Focus on what makes you happy, because in the long run, if you're not happy doing your videos or your content or whatever you're doing, you're going to quit really easily, or want to quit, or it's going to be hard to find passion in what you're doing. Be happy with what you're doing on this platform. Make videos you love or want to show. And don't worry if nobody watches the video within the first couple of days. I've had videos that did poorly, alright? My one shark video, it did terribly when it came out. A few days later, I'm looking at 32 views. It used to be at 3. It's gone up tremendously. And again, that's the one that I used the title, so there's that. But give it time. Not everyone's gonna find you immediately. Not everybody's gonna want to click on your video immediately. Give it time, and you will see maybe a slow, but you'll see improvement in how your video does. Post like no one's going to watch, I guess, is what I'm saying. And what that means is, even if you have a very low amount of viewers or subscribers, one person decided that day that you were worth taking time out of whatever they were doing to sit back and watch your video, to spend their day among hundreds of thousands of content creators. They chose you to watch that video. They chose out of all those people to watch you. And that is saying something. I have let me see. Let me check. I have 61 subscribers as of right now. And while compared to a lot of other people, it's not a lot. There are people out there with millions, billions. I don't care. Because 61 people thought that I was worthy enough to get a like and a subscribe. And that means the world to me. You have no idea how big that actually is. Think of it like this way. You may have 1 or 2 people in a room, alright? Imagine 60 people in that room with you. While it may not come off initially as a big number, it's a lot. We all start from somewhere, and we all try and get to where we want to be, to the person that we wish we could be. And we don't all get to that spot immediately. But eventually, we may get to that spot. We just have to have faith. We have to have love in what we do. And we have to start focusing on what really matters, instead of doing these bullshit and get famous quick schemes. I don't make the greatest things, But still, people seem to want to watch. Doesn't matter. Post what you like and what you love. Just don't be one of these people who do it the wrong way. And there is a wrong way. Don't steal other people's content. Give them credit. Do it right by the system. And I know it sucks because sometimes the system is unfair to the people who play fair. I've talked about it many times, done many videos, and I've expressed my feelings. But that doesn't mean we should let these people win. Stay who you are. Stay true to you. I do many things because that's me. So my question is, who are you? What do you want to become? And are you happy with what you're doing right now? You don't need to look for others to find the answers always. Sometimes it's good to get another person's perspective. Trust me, it's good, because sometimes people can see what others don't. But understand that this world has its darkness, along with its light. Not all people want your best interests. Some people will prey on you. The thing that you need to keep in mind is to not let them. If you enjoyed this video, my name is Spectral. I do many different things, talk about topics, play Souls-like games such as this one, and other types of games. I do FPS, I do third person, mystery, horror, all of it. I do practically all of it, except for sports games, really. I do whatever, I talk about whatever interests me, and if you enjoy that, consider coming by more often. You don't need to subscribe, you don't need to like. If you want to, by all means. You coming around here and watching this, that's more than enough that I'll ever ask for. See you in the next one. I'm going back to the spirit world.